carpet for Top Gun for a
she's
long
a chatterbox,
time.
isn't she? Yeah.
I loved her. So I hear your family is in this one too.
Yes, there's a scene where you'll see Liz Taylor on the beach. Jesse Brown comes up on the beach and runs into Liz Taylor. My parents are right behind Liz Taylor, and my mom. You know, she's a coachable actor. I wouldn't say her ability is natural, but I would say that, you know, she does deliver a very powerful performance in this movie in the background as a beachgoer looking for her towel. Yeah.
Glenn, 6 years in the making, and your castmates have said that they don't think anyone else could have made Devotion happen. What does it mean when you hear that?
I'm a scrappy dude. I really care about this story so much, and I care about these families so much. That's the thing is, people joke with me about that. I just felt like absolute pressure by the families. But when you look someone in the eyes and you know that their legacy of their family members means so much, it does get you up every morning and cause you to fight to get this movie made. And that's the thing is I did have immense pressure on this movie to do the story and do it right. And I'm just glad that I got to keep that promise, but it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. So it's been a long time in the making. The fact that we're here tonight is just, it's hard to describe.
Thank you so much, Glenn.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it.
Story here for all of us to witness.
Oh, it's great. I mean, Jesse's story started a long time ago in the fields of Mississippi. You know, made its way to Korea, and now somehow it's in Los Angeles. And the whole world's going to see it come Thanksgiving, which is quite appropriate.
So it's a story about perseverance and devotion to one another despite our differences.
Yeah.
Is there anyone in your life that's there for you?
Is that for me? Oh man, I'm overwhelmed with support. You know, but I think probably my uncle Chuck, who always looks after me. You know, I probably got text messages now saying, "Go get him, nephew." You know, and that's what I intend on doing. Yeah, that's the man.
Typically, they say ignorance is bliss, but when it comes to covering these historical figures that you're able to cover in Devotion, how important is it to do your due diligence?
Oh, that's paramount. That's absolutely paramount. You know, it's funny when you play someone who's walked and talked and lived and loved in the world and has made an impact in the world. You know, it's that's all you have to do is tell the truth. And as we all know, telling the truth is quite difficult. It takes time sometimes. It takes patience sometimes. And so this is the handshake, you know, for Jesse and Tom. For everybody, you know, it's the handshake. We've not seen this story before. And so the amount of attention is necessary to not just get it right, but get it truthful and put it in an orbit where everybody can relate and touch it and feel it, you know.
Can I ask you about the moment when Glenn came up to you saying how much he loved reading the book? What was that like?
Well, when I heard about Glenn wanting to play Tom Hudner, the first thing I did was Google Glen Powell. Sorry, it's the truth. Who's Glen Powell? And I saw this guy who'd been in Expendables 3, and he had a shaved head, and I said, oh, geez, I don't know. He looks kind of macho, kind of cocky, confident guy. And I said, all right, Glenn, I'm gonna test you. And so I said, do you want to meet the real Tom Hudner? You want to play the guy? Do you want to meet him? He's 92 years old, and he's not in great health. And it was kind of a test to see what he said. And Glenn, his answer, when and where. The next weekend, he and I went to Tom's house. Next thing you know, we're sitting down at Tom's table, eating waffles together, and I'm getting to watch Glenn interact with Tom. There was a part where I said, let's go get our photos taken. So I went and got the door, and I was holding the door, and I looked back, and I saw Glenn and Tom walking, arm in arm, through the house. I said, all right, we've got our actor here. And that night I said, Glenn, how do we get this thing made? And his reply, we're going to take it to Black Label Media. They're going to do this thing.
What an incredible story. So you talk about how great it was to see Glen Powell with talking to Tom Hudner, but what has it been like to now see him playing as Tom Hudner?
Tom and I spent a decade together. We were great friends, and we lost him a few years ago at age 92. Now he's back, and he's going to live forever because Glenn became Tom. I mean, even the cadence of his voice, I hear Tom. I'm getting to see my friend again. And the most important thing for me, though, was to know that the world would appreciate these guys. That's why you write this story. Not just to entertain people, you want people to see what you see and to see how remarkable they were and to know their names. Now their names are going to live forever.
What was the story you were trying to get across when you first wrote Devotion?
Well, one of the stories that has gone untold for so long is the story of the Korean War. They call it the Forgotten War. And we really shouldn't have a forgotten war. I mean, when you lose 33,000 men and women, that's a serious war. And so one of my motivations was to open people's eyes to this war, to show them where Korea was and how it was fought and who the people were, to put a name to the faces, and just to give Americans their first dose of the Korean War in 70 years. That was the last time a Korean War movie was made. Books are not written about it, but now we're changing that. So can we really call it the Forgotten War anymore? After this movie comes out, it's not going to be the Forgotten War anymore, which is awesome. That's what we're in it for.
Exactly. That's such a great point. Forgotten War, no more.
No more. It rhymes. That
just makes sense. Were you on set at all to help with how scenes should play out?
I was very lucky to work with Black Label because they said, okay, look at the script. How can we make it better? They let me help them find the aircraft that they were going to use in this film. They invited me to the set. So I go to Georgia and I walk out to this field, this airfield, and there's an aircraft carrier. They built an aircraft carrier from scratch, and they built it out of steel. And so I go up, the first thing I do is I knock on the wall. My God, it's metal. They built an aircraft carrier so they could do that stunt flying. So that's when I knew the commitment was heavy, and they let me jump in a couple scenes. So I got my moment of fame. There's a part where the pilots are kind of getting lectured because they're too slow with this drill. And Savoli, the skipper, is holding a stopwatch saying, you guys have to be faster. And I'm in the back trying to look like I'm sorrowful that, we'll do better, Savoli. So I got my 4 seconds of fame.
I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much, Adam.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
I'm so excited to see this movie, first of all, but how exciting is it that Devotion is finally coming to fruition?
Ooh, I mean, the work is done. We're just now sharing it with everyone else. But I mean, we could not be more excited to share this with everyone and for everyone to know the story of Jesse and Tom and the 32s and Daisy and just all of it.
Were you able to chat with the Brown family a lot before working on the film?
Yes. Daisy had unfortunately already passed. And so I spoke to Jessica, her granddaughter, and she's kind of the gatekeeper to the Brown family. And listening to her concerns, listening to her stories was immensely helpful because you want to not only honor Daisy, but you want to honor the people who are still here who knew her best.
Yeah. And a story like this, how much research goes into it when you're covering something that is quite literally known as the Forgotten War?
I mean, the information is out there. It's just because of when the war was positioned, that's why it's forgotten. And so for me, you have the books, you have Jesse's letters. Daisy started to do interviews later in her life, and so I was able to sit and watch those. But I mean, I had a wealth of information, and it's just taking what it is that you need and using it along the way and telling the story.
With you being one of the only women a part of this crew or this cast, how inviting were the men?
This is the nicest group of men I've ever met in my entire life. And they handled me with such care and such consideration and such love because I've had so much to deal with. But I also am in most of the movie alone. And so there was just this understanding with me that, it's more than I could have asked for.
And I've heard great things about the camaraderie of this cast and crew. Were you able to hang out outside of just working on the film? And were there any moments that stood out to you or you had the most fun with them?
I didn't hang out with the guys, but I did hang out with Jonathan just so that we could talk about the characters. I hung out with JD and, again, talking about the characters. But since we've been doing press, I've gotten to know them much better. And, I mean, it's been all the fun.
And working alongside Jonathan, what was that like?
Oh, I mean, it's absolutely incredible. He's one of the most intentional, one of the most emotionally intelligent. He fully understands the human expense of what it is that we're doing. And he's one of those people who makes you better. Just when you see him work and you see his process, you can't copy it because it's his, but he does the work far beyond what you think the work is.
What in particular did you take from his craft?
Ooh. The commitment. The commitment. And I don't mean method, I just mean the commitment of not just my character, but his relationship with Glenn and his relationship with Joe and Nick. And I mean, just how he maneuvered through all of that, but still, when he's in it, he's in it. And you watch Jesse work through him.
I'm so excited to see it. Thank you so much, Christina.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Let's do it.
Hi, Joe. I'm Jess.
Hi,
Nice to
Jess.
meet
Good to see you. How are you?
Before we start, I need to show you something because I think you'll love it.
Oh my God.
Do you mind if we recreate this?
Love it. Let's do it.
We're going to recreate
do it.
this photo.
This photo.
This was my first ever concert. We have to look nice and...
Yeah.
So I know you described Marty Good as someone who brings joy to stressful situations and who just has a lot of fun with it. So who would you say brings the joy to those stressful situations with this cast and crew? I think I might know this answer.
Who would break the stressful situation? I think I probably would take that one as well. I love a good laugh, but you know what? These guys are funny. I mean, Jonathan's got a really great sense of humor. So does Glenn. Obviously, in a movie like this, everybody's pretty serious, but when the cameras are off, we all have a really good time together, and we try to cut loose. And we're like a family. We become so close.
What pieces of your acting have you brought alongside to help you with performing on stage?
It's a great question. I think this movie reminded me to really take every performance incredibly seriously. I think it doesn't have to be like this is just every song is serious, but the prep that goes into a tour, and these fans that have been around for the brothers for so many years, 20 plus years now, or 20 some years. You just want to give them the best show you can every night because they're coming for their big night out, and they drove and flew, whatever it may be. You want to make sure that you do them proud.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Great to
meet you. I did. We took it. Yeah. Thank you. Boone, how exciting is it to finally see Devotion come to fruition?
Oh man, it is so exciting. I mean, from the very beginning, I mean, just reading the script, you can tell so quickly it's an important story and such a special story, and getting to see it for the first time, on screen, was incredible. I'm really excited for tonight.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about reading that script. When you first read it, what drew you so much to the film?
So I read the script before I read the book, so I had no idea where it was going. I really got to take it in the way that it was written, which is really the story itself, no matter how it's written, would tug at your heartstrings, but the script is phenomenal, and I absolutely cried. I've cried seeing it, I've cried reading it. It's such an incredible story. Yeah.
What are you hoping that the audience takes away from this movie?
I think getting to see who these people were and getting to see this story told is what's really important. It's an incredible story, and it defines a lot of things that we aspire to as humans. Regardless of being involved in the military or not, it's a very human story that is just incredible.
Well, I think that's what's so interesting about this movie is that it's based around the Korean War, which is also known as the Forgotten War. So how much research did you have to do outside of the script?
Yeah, I had very, very little knowledge. And then getting onto set, and so many vets were welcome to the set, and people who were related to the actual people that we're making this film about. I felt like there was a great debt that needed to be paid in that way of just getting to know, learning about it, which I had a great deal to learn from the beginning, and reading the script was a great introduction to that. But yeah, it was very interesting getting reading. Like you said, it is known as the Forgotten War, and that's for a reason. There's a lot that just wasn't talked about, and it really isn't. yeah, you don't see as much about it unless you go out and seek it. And going out to seek it, you find a lot. Yeah.
You almost feel like, how have we not known about this or these stories sooner?
Yeah.
Is there any intention for you to get your pilot's license after working a part of this movie?
Absolutely not. I was recently on I got in an accident on a Vespa, which I feel like if I can't handle a Vespa, there's no way I should get in the sky on something like 500 times the weight. So, yeah, not me.
Yeah, I'll be taking a few deep breaths while watching this movie. That's for sure. I'm definitely afraid of flying, so I can only imagine.
Well, the cinematography is incredible, and what they've shot in the sky is amazing. I think that will be enough to let you fly. Yeah.
I'll let the cast and crew take it from here. Thank you so much. Looking forward to watching it.